We are back from our executive session now into regular session. Next item on the agenda is approval of regular session minutes from July 20th, 2015.
Make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from Monday, July 2015, the regular session.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any other discussion? Courtney, call the board.
Selectman Becker?
Yes.
Selectman Starzak?
Yes.
Selectman Dygevich?
Yes.
Chairman Ford?
Yes. Next item is the approval of the executive session meetings minutes from Monday, July 20th, 2015.
Make a motion to approve the executive session meeting minutes from Monday, July 20th.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any other discussion? Courtney, call the board.
Selectman Becker?
Yes.
Selectman Starzak?
Yes.
Selectman Dygevich?
Yes.
Chairman Ford?
Yes. Next item, Kenny Pizzetti, Pavement Management Program, and update from the Safety Committee. Welcome.
Mr. Chairman, I believe everybody's kind of got a copy of that plan as far as this season. Oh, you got one up there? Just wanted to come on board. I know Mr. Starzak was asking last week. We wanted to, which we usually do a little earlier, but I know there was a lot of things going on at the time. Numerous little changes, but this is the third year with our pavement management plan. So this is our third season where we went. And what you see in front of you is a little bit how that is designed for many cities and towns as far as preventative maintenance and then a basic standard type of maintenance. Besides going to, say, to cut it short, like similar to Carol's project over here, full depth. So what you're seeing here is a basic plan under that pavement management plan on where we had gone for 2015. You can see the front page where the highway, we did those 7 streets in certain areas. This is how the program punches it up. And then as it goes towards the other page, which is more of the contractor, which we have, which is Amarillo is our contractor here for us in Webster, probably along with a lot of other cities and towns. And then the third page would be pretty much what's a routine preservation management technique, preventative maintenance on your better roads. So once again, I think a great plan. I'm really happy where we are. I was a little worried we were a little behind the 8 ball due to April being a little bit unseasonably cold this year, but this is where we are as far as this season. We're probably 90% already completed. Once again, we got about 4.5 miles of road resurfaced here in Webster and in numerous areas. We covered a big portion of the School Street section for as far as asphalt overlays, which that area hasn't seen anything in probably 40 years. So not a full depth with a lot of cities and towns are doing. It gives you a lot more flexibility, you know, of course, with your state money from your Chapter 90 you got. So, but both the highway crew and the contractor, outstanding job, you know. As far as my end with a small group like that, I'm very grateful I got a bunch of talented guys like that. So that's one thing that, for a small town, and that these guys, I'm very grateful to have them with me. They do a super job. So with that, I'd kind of entertain any questions if we need be, as far as that.
Any questions from the board?
What are you going to be doing, Kenny, like 2 years ago or 3 years ago, you had that machine that came in and
Yeah, we looked at that as far as a couple of those roads which were involved in that hot in place where they reheated the roads at the time. Slater Street was one and 3rd Street was another. A different technique. I didn't feel that comfortable with it now, each one of them being a couple of years old. You got a lot of cracks in it. It was a new technique. It was very much worth the money to give it a shot. So you didn't see any of that come back in this program or even last year's. This program this year, you'll also notice there's no chip seal involved in this year. It does work. It doesn't get a lot of praise because everybody sometimes sees a little of that loose stone.
No, that's what was
that's
done on
the
Kildare.
chip seal,
That
really,
whole-
right. Kildare Island and that.
But it did cure up good in the
It
end.
did.
Yeah.
It, you know what I mean? It took a good solid, 8 months, but I don't know. I knew there was areas in this program that came up, and this plan gets analyzed by the company every couple of years, which is pretty normal for any city and town once their plan is established, like Webster had done, which, it's a great idea, so. This is a lot this year of preventative maintenance for the crack sealing company coming in. There's probably maybe around 8 miles of that preventative maintenance, which goes on your big main roads first. This program is designed to keep, obviously, that first, and then you go down the ladder towards the other ones. Nobody really in this program gets left out. I mean, some of them that are bad, you gotta kind of chip away at that, but basically we did a lot of overlays this year, which I was very happy with. The areas of Christian Road were very, very nice.
In addition to this, we also received the pothole money again this
Oh,
year,
yes, right.
70,000
Thank you.
plus.
Thank you, right. The last 2 years, Governor Patrick extended to the cities and town pothole money, along with Governor Baker this year. So besides this chart, which I don't have that in here, gentlemen, there's another 2 phases which we did. We did another 1,200 feet of North Main Street, and then we actually extended another 1,300 on Bigelow Road. These roads are almost similar to your main drags that are, on average, taking about 20 to 25,000 cars per day. So there's a lot of wear and tear in them. So that program from the state, thank you, works. I hope it continues, because that is a big punch. That's not even nothing from your Chapter 90, you know what I mean? They divvy it up, and both years they ended up giving us a good chunk of change, along with every other city and town, our neighbors around us. So again, there's a lot of benefit to that. At the same time, I just wanted to bring up on that sheet, I didn't really put this on there also, there's a little bit of commitment money we have under our Chapter 90 for the OCD project behind us, which is moving forward. There's I think Carol will do a better job of explaining it to you, but it's moving forward. Sometimes it takes a little while with Verizon and that stuff, but she's done a great job over there, so that once it is done and completed, it's gonna look good. And we also we're in the second or maybe third phase of a TIP program that we got accepted, which I think we brought up last year as far as Lake Parkway. So that's moving along,
And what do we have committed for the tip?
The engineering problem, project
125.
part of it for us is, the whole project itself, I believe, is like maybe close to a $2 million project, 1.5 or 2 million, so.
So we were able to commit 100,000 out here to Church Street
We
project
needed-
for
right.
OCD.
We put our engineer fee, I think, from what the town plan engineer Scott had mentioned, was we kind of put 300 on the side of our Chapter 90. So, that you hold that kind of in the bank for that engineering, because it's worth every dime of that. That road is almost two miles long, so to have all brand new roadway and sidewalks and everything over there is a plus.
So, Kenny, what's the difference between the tack coat and the bit conk
When you
overlay?
see that tack coat, that's just an emulsion that, when you do these overlays, you lay that actually down. Sometimes you've got to rut fill some of these rough areas, and then it's an emulsion that gets applied to the road before they come in and pave. So they're putting that down, and the paver's right behind it. And that creates a bond between the old and the new. So, it doesn't let that asphalt move at all.
Okay, so that's not just its own road treatment, that's actually,
No,
that
that's
just
part of
applies.
That's part of each
Okay.
program, exactly.
Gotcha.
Yep. What's that?
Safety committee.
Oh, yes. Okay, what was that up there? Here we go. We had our annual safety committee meeting, and we had a couple things on there, and what I wanted to the board had voted on. We wanted to ask the board, you know, for their recommendation as far as, 2 items came up. We were looking to just place a simple stop sign in the pole on Victoria Drive. Cross Street is Normandy Ave, which is off of Slater Street. Kind of a small little neighborhood, but for some reason, I guess that one little corner drew,
Mr. Chairman?
draws a lot of people.
Hand raised there.
Yeah, Kenny just said Victoria Drive,
Yeah.
Victory Drive.
Victory.
Victory, I'm sorry, yep. So we are just looking for a recommendation. We'd like to place one there. And I think the second one is Thompson Road. Mass DOT has all of its states, of course it's interstates and its routes. All of them in the Commonwealth are posted as far as no parking. We own Thompson Road from just about Old Worcester Road by Zemitra's there, where it meets there, all the way to this light at Lake Street. We seem, for some reason, we had a lot of complaints as far as, for some reason, everybody seems to be parking on Thompson Road now. We felt as a safety committee that, one, that's a type of road that it's kind of dangerous to park and just get out and start walking down the road over there. So that was our biggest fear is the police department being not posted or having nothing posted, similar to the state, which is covered, the whole Commonwealth covers their roads under one blanket. And they wouldn't even have the ability to even just educate anybody to say, hey, you know, maybe you can't park here and start walking, you know? It's as far as Park Ave. For some reason, we noticed a lot of cars, and I got some of the officers that told us, you know, they're parking that far. So we were just looking pretty much to see how the board would feel as far as posting that as a no parking on either side.
Again, where does it start, where does it end? The no parking
Where-
suggestion?
If we do this, Mr. Becker, it's gonna actually cover all of Thompson Road. I think our main focus was from the fire department all the way to Park Ave. We were gonna just post that signage on one side of the road, you know what I mean? We're not looking to put all kinds of, you know, we wanna put them under the guidelines of the traffic code, you know, signage code and that stuff, but not, you can space them out for a good amount of footage. But that
Yep.
seems to be a little bit of a problem.
For the 4th of July, does that fill up?
It did this year.
It did this year.
It did this year, and it seems like we're getting a little bit more action there from, I don't know why. I don't think it's a lot of town people. I pretty much know that road. There's not much, I don't know why you would park it.
Do we
And
know-
as far as the chief, they don't have anything to even educate somebody to say, hey, you can't park there, you know? I mean, it's a breakdown lane is what it is, you know, it's just a shoulder.
Do you know roughly how many signs you would need?
We're probably looking at maybe 3 to 4, spread out over probably between 100 and 150 feet apart. And we were gonna go on the east side of Thompson Road, which is the fire station ambulance side, you know what I mean? So it looks good too. I mean, you don't, something like that means a lot to me. I don't wanna look at too tacky.
And that covers both sides of the roads?
It would state no
Either
parking
side.
either side, yes.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Is that a motion has been made and seconded discussion. Is that a motion to approve both A
Yeah,
and B?
Victory and Thompson.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any other discussion?
Just the one item, is there anyone there that objects to it when you have the meeting?
Yeah, Mr. Becker, we didn't have anybody
Okay.
this time, nobody came in, so it's just something that, came as far as myself, maybe the chief noticing it. It just seems like even a little bit towards last year, so it just was, we ended up putting it on the agenda to say, well, what if we just do that one piece? It's not that's not a safe type of road to just be parking on the shoulder and getting out and unloading everything. You know, they're walking, you know, whatever, 200 feet down the road. So it's kind of where we were asking, see what you guys thought.
Anything else? Courtney, poll the board?
Selectman Becker?
Yes.
Selectman Starzak?
Yes.
Selectman Begevich?
Yes.
Chairman Ford?
Yes. Quick question.
Yes.
Have you noticed an increase in graffiti, stop signs, one-way signs, anything like that? Because I've noticed a considerable amount of,
Yeah.
and I brought it up to the acting town administrator a few weeks ago, and
Yeah, we've gotten a little bit more activity of that, you know, from the police department. Once they notice that, of course, they call or they send me an email, and then, you know, and it's not one section, it's
Right.
a little bit of everywhere, so. But, yeah, unfortunately, a little bit of that has been occurring, so.
as long as they're on top of it, and maybe if we see them, we'll just
Yeah, I mean, if you see some, please just call, you know, I
go
mean, that's
through you and then.
definitely something we don't wanna leave up there, you know what I mean? All of those, obviously, those type of signs mean everything, so it's not the type of sign to be covering up.
And what are the average costs, like just say for a stop sign?
Probably $80, $85 for that one sign. They're not cheap,
Right.
you know?
We continue to have issues in parks, in our playgrounds, and parking lots, so.
And was there or was there not just recently an issue in the new French River Walk with a sign?
Well, yeah, they had a couple smaller ones there, no paint, unfortunately, they tore them out of the ground, so,
Right.
you know.
I mean, it costs us money every time we have to replace one
Yeah,
of the signs.
yeah.
and
Yes.
You know,
It can get costly if you're replacing 3 or 4 a month.
Well, I mean, it's, you know, they're brand new, basically kind of brand new areas, so that's kind of you really hate to see that, unfortunately, you know? So, but, you know, we just do our best to stay on top of that, so if you see anything like that, please just call. You know, it's hard to cover, you know, sometimes 82 miles where it jumps around a little bit, so.
Right. Any other questions for Mr. Pizzat? Mr. Mullins?
Since you brought up the safety issue, I'd like to bring one up that I run into myself at the beach. Not just saying it's the beach, but just the walking people that go into the beach. Just scattered across that roadway as they're walking in. And they're in the way of what the traffic wanting to drive in. The last time I went up there, Saturday afternoon, I had to wait to even get to the gate because of the people sauntering up the roadway and walking through the space where the car needs to go through to get to the beach. I was just wondering if we have a new fence guardrail put up there. I was wondering if we might just consider or think about making some kind of pathway with signs keeping people off the roadway for their own protection and for the protection of the drivers, obviously, too, and to facilitate getting cars into the beach instead of backing up, waiting for the slow walkers to just move out of the way, because they don't care who's behind them. They just want to walk in at their own pace. and
Right.
be free.
So maybe you can look into that.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, I mean, that whole program, as far as all that, as we spoke that day when we went to kind of reevaluate the grilling part of it, there's numerous things still on the docket there, from the building to that, so there is a little bit of a pavement plan on paper. That's all it is on our own thinking, going in the future, but sure, Mr. Mullins said it's probably 100% right, you know, so it's just something that I can look and add to that to see, you know, where we go next.
Actually, on that note too, where do we stand with our trial for grilling? Because I'd assume we're probably pretty well into that, if
Well,
there's
I
been
mean,
any.
right now, you know, I think this is what, maybe week 3 coming up, if I'm not mistaken.
Probably pretty close.
But long story short, I would say it hasn't been bad, it hasn't been great, so I don't know if that's a fair statement. We had a couple issues, you know, I mean, that, they had to leave with Chaco, they did just what we talked about. They just dumped it. They dumped it in a barrel, they dumped it on the court, they dumped it in a tree log, so, I mean, we got a couple notes on that, you know. And then we just had actually, some of the officers, we did escort a couple people out of there, so But on the other note, there's been some people that have been very good. You know, the small little propane style, and they had a good time, so.
How the crowd's been?
It's been busy. The beach has been very busy. You know, the weather's been beautiful. July was awesome, so, you know, drawing some big crowds down there. They're having a good time.
Do the signs say anything in regards to no charcoal now? Did they say no
We,
charcoal?
what we do is, once they come to the gate, we had the flyer, so no matter what, everybody gets that flyer. I know some of them, their argument was, well, you didn't show us stuff. They received the paper at the gate, you know, just kind of rule guideline for when they come to grill, so. Like I said, you know, not super, but not bad, so, you know, having a good time like we're doing is trying it and monitoring it, and, you know, when it's said and done, when we revisit this stuff, you know, we'll have some notes for everybody, and we'll see where we can go from there.
Any other questions from the board? Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate that.
Next item on the agenda is Esther Vargas, the third annual Webster Latin American Festival.
Hello,
How are you?
I am good.
Good.
I am
Welcome back.
here to request the use of the French River Park for the Latin American Festival. This is our third year in Webster. We've been there for the past 2 years without incident. We bring in a lot of resources to the town that the people that we generally serve wouldn't have access to. And that's about it, so I'm hoping you all say yes.
What are the dates?
Sorry. It is Sunday, September 13th from 12 noon. We say 8 p.m. We usually end around 7. We give ourselves an extra hour to clean up or do whatever we need to do before we leave. And then Saturday, we would need the stage company to come in and set up the stage. And I would also like access to the electricity and permission to hang up some signage.
So pretty much what we've done for the past.
Yeah, what we've done for the past 2 years.
Insurance-wise,
As we spoke before the meeting, Mr. Chairman, I'm still waiting for a response from the town's insurance advisor, and then the facilities use policy will be a final draft for your review, so, the board's review, so.
What have we done in the past for the insurance?
I don't know, I wasn't involved in any of this in the past, so I just know that, you know, we want to standardize our requirements for all town-owned facilities and make sure that the town is properly covered when it comes to any type of use of our facilities, so.
In the past, when we've held the event, I've checked with the state because we have to get state permission to put up bounce houses and things for the kids. The only insurance we needed, according to them, was insurance in case an injury happened to the child, and as long as the rental company provided it and we were covered under their insurance, we didn't need to provide our own. We usually get them from Bounce Above, and he has insurance that covers us. Other than that, there's really no attraction or anything that would hurt anyone.
we just have to find out from
Our insurance advisor, correct. You know, again, with the use policy, it'll address any other issues, you know, police presence, any public works staff that would be required or anything, and nominal permit fee, $25, I think our permit fee is for the use of the facility, so.
If I remember right, there is a cost per vendor that's there, correct?
There is a cost for per vendor. It's $35, and usually it covers renting things and the cost of the stage and the things with we have expenses. We also have sponsors. We have Goya and MapFree. They both also provide financial help.
And any food vendors would be required to get permits through the Board of Health, and then Ms. Sullivan would be there that day to inspect.
So there's no alcohol being served?
Well, the brewery will be open that day.
Mm-hmm.
He has his own licenses. He told me he had taken care of that. I don't need to worry about it. I don't know. But any alcohol that's consumed has to be consumed on his property, from what he has said to me.
Right.
I'm not sure. We've never had it in the past. He's only opening because he wants to.
Oh, great, okay, it's a win-win.
Yeah, it just can't come out of that pen.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll make a motion to approve the September 13th date.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any other discussion? Courtney, poll the board?
Selectman Becker?
Yes.
Selectman Starzak?
Yes.
Selectman Degevich?
Yes.
Chairman Porter?
Yes. Good luck.
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
gentlemen. Have a
See
good
you
night.
here.
Communication with Pam anyways, I'm sure.
I will.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Next item on the agenda is the acting town administrator's report.
The chairman told me to keep it brief. I'll,
Paid by the penalty.
I'll talk, speak quickly, yeah. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I held a department head meeting on Tuesday, July 21st. I attended library building committee meetings on both Tuesday, July 28th and Wednesday, July 29th for the purpose of conducting interviews of firms selected in response to the RFQ for owner's project management services. And I participated in dispatcher contract negotiations on Thursday, July 30th. Those are ongoing. Under departmental updates and announcements, under the town administrator, Senator Fatman and Representative McKenna will be making a presentation to the town on Thursday, August 13th at 9:15 a.m. at Memorial Beach. We will be accepting a check in the amount of $125,000 representing the funding secured by Senator Fatman for Webster Lake. The police, again, a reminder that the 32nd Annual National Night Out Crime and Drug Prevention event will be held on Tuesday, August 4th, that's tomorrow evening, from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Memorial Beach. In addition to the Webster Police Department, Webster and Paxton Canine Units, the following departments and organizations will be on site: Webster and Dudley Fire Departments, Webster EMS, Webster Dudley Boys and Girls Club, a race car from Thompson Speedway, Community Health Link, Webster Community for Success, Enough Abuse Campaign, a bouncy obstacle course, a dunk tank, clown, DJ Vite, face painting, a selfie booth, and other events are scheduled. There will be food and beverages as well as snow cones and popcorn given away, and this event is free to the public. Memorial Beach, the town's beach facility will be ending its seasonal operations on Saturday, August 22nd at 7 p.m. Stickers will continue to be available for purchase from the Office of the Town Administrator during the Town Hall's regular business hours. Senior Center, the second annual Senior Center Cookout will be held on Monday, August 17th at Memorial Beach. The event features lunch provided by Point Breeze Restaurant and boat rides provided by members of the Webster Lake Association. Library, the annual Book a Cruise event will be held on Wednesday, August 5th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Memorial Beach. This event is part of the library's summer reading program. The summer concert series continues. The Recreation Committee's 2014-15 summer concert series continued last week with a performance by Junior and the Threat. Concerts are held at French River Park on Wednesday evenings from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. This week's performance will feature Just Us. Under follow-up items, I've attached the Town Council Access Policy as amended and approved on July 20th, so that policy has been adopted and will be added to your policy book. The Town-Owned Facilities Use Policy is the issuance of the draft policy is pending a response from the town's insurance advisor. Selectman Starzak, I believe, requested an update on the nuisance dog hearing, the Savitas nuisance dog hearing, and I've attached a copy of the email that we received from the animal control officer with regard to that. Under action items, you received correspondence in your packet from CMRPC, and they're seeking your appointment of a delegate and the alternate for FY16. And Courtney has put together proposed meeting dates for September 2015 through November 2015, so we're seeking your approval of those. And under informational items, we received an email from Mr. Whitelaw, and I've also included the town engineer planner's response to that email. And we also received correspondence from Ms. Giotis, and I've included also with that correspondence the response from the town engineer planner with regard to that also.
Any questions for Pam?
one, there's another information item on the sewer pipe that goes underneath the Narrows.
That's the Geodis correspondence. Ms. Geodis sent a letter to the board with her concerns, and I asked the town engineer to research it. The sewer department was contacted, provided information, and then the town engineer provided his information. And the town engineer was in communication with the Mr. Roberts engineer, and they provided a response also.
Oh, it's in there.
It's all in there, yes, sir.
And an email or a letter was sent back to the Ms. Diotis?
Not yet. I just
Okay.
received this information late this afternoon.
Oh, okay.
So I will be
Yeah, well,
responding to Ms.
okay.
Jodas with this information, yes.
Yeah, I think the concern, as I heard, was if the Indian Princess bottomed out, could it damage the sewer line and affect the lake?
And as you can see, their engineer has provided information with regard to the depth of the boat. And then you see there the plans where the sewer line, and there is a water line there, and I believe an abandoned cable line or phone line also there, so.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions from the board?
Well, just kudos to Senator Fatman for the $125,000. He filed an amendment to the budget to secure the funding. Thank you for that.
That's great news.
I'll make a motion to approve the town administrator's report.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any other discussion? Courtney, call the board.
Selectman Becker?
Yes.
Selectman Starsik?
Yes.
Selectman Dygevich?
Yes.
Chairman Four.
Yes. Old business, ADA coordinator. Donna. Come on up.
I have a packet here for you. It'll give you some background information on the
Thank you.
Mass General Law 40, Chapter 8J, in regards to the ADA commissions and committees. The first page describes the purpose, the intent of the committees, what this purpose is. Then the end page goes into more specifics as it relates to representation on the committees. Initially, when the group was initially started back in the spring of 2014, a coordinator was chosen by the board. I wasn't part of the group at that time as coordinator. On our first meeting that day, Bob Miller received a tweet from that person saying she was resigning and was not going to be involved. So it's according to the last page, you'll see there's an asterisk. The last line there goes into what to do if the term of that person expires or they resign or stuff like that. So what Bob had us do at the meeting, because he was a member of the committee, a chairperson and a secretary was chosen. I was chosen as chairperson. Lori Shaloni, who's here this evening, was appointed secretary. We've been functioning all year, doing different things in that, but it was made clear to us by Mr. Jeff Dugan, the Assistant Director for Community Relationship, that we're not functioning where we should be. We need, and now that Bob Miller is no longer a selectman, we really need a selectman to come in because we need somebody that's appointed or elected into the committee. And then possibly, you know, whether the selectman would stay with us or that a coordinator would then be selected. A coordinator is supposed to be, as it was explained to me, an employee of the town, which I am not. We're all volunteers that are functioning on this committee. Jeff said he would be more than willing to come in to address the full board or if a selectman was chosen to sit in on our meeting, he would come in to our meeting at that time and explain everything that, the requirements that need to be done, because there's more than just having a coordinator. There's various different aspects of things that need to be accomplished. So that's why I'm coming here tonight, is for you to decide, do you want a selectman to sit on our board on a regular basis and then us look into a coordinator in addition to the selectmen? Or would you just have the selectmen come in for the process of picking a coordinator and all that involves? Because if it's an employee in the town, then that's a whole nother ballgame for us to have to deal with. You know, whether somebody would be hired for that position, or Mr. Dugan mentioned that some towns, what they do is they designate, instead of creating a whole new position, somebody within the town already to 1 or 2 people to assign those tasks. So it's up to the board here.
When are your meetings again? I'm sorry, 2 weeks is a long time. When are your meetings regularly held?
We're on vacation right now, but normally we're the 3rd Monday of the month. We meet 5 o'clock.
And where do you meet?
We usually in the Irene room.
What's the pleasure of the board?
Well, we're moving into the naming our delegate,
Right.
or obviously we'd have to either be yourself or Mr. Becker. I could never make it for 5 o'clock. I don't know if
Well,
Will
you can't
could
take
do
a
it.
day off?
So-
Mr. Becker's agenda is pretty full.
Yeah, I'll take one for the team on this. I think it's a good
Can you
cause.
make
and-
it?
Yeah, I can squeak out of work a little early on a third, what is it, every 3rd Monday?
No. What, I didn't quite hear you.
Is it every 3rd Monday that you meet?
Every 3rd Monday.
Yeah, I can make
Unless
that work.
something major or a holiday or something, we're flexible. We're required to meet at least 10 times a year,
Mhm.
you know, so.
No, I should be able to fit that into my schedule, so.
The meetings usually aren't very long. They're usually an hour at
Sure.
the most.
Make a motion.
I'll nominate Will.
I'll
Second. Yeah.
3rd. Any other discussion? Courtney, poll the board.
Selectman Becker?
Yes.
Selectman Starsky?
Yes.
Selectman Duggan?
Yes.
Chairman Ford?
Yes. Congratulations.
Thank you. I have a question to raise, if that would be all right. As far as a coordinator, would it be fair to assume maybe we could have Mr. Charpentier put on another cap and fill that position as well, being an employee of the town? I don't know if you know Mrs. Regis.
We could, if you appointed him the ADA coordinator. There is a, we had a stipend in the budget for someone if they were not a town employee already. The last ADA coordinator I knew of was our former police chief, who was our ADA coordinator. And after that, I didn't even know that there was someone appointed subsequent to that.
My thoughts are with, his planning and engineering background, I think it would probably behoove the town to have somebody in that capacity kind of bridge the gap. So I don't know how the board feels about that.
Great idea.
Sure, right.
Not that I want to overwhelm him, because I know he's a very busy man, but he's wildly talented, so I think would be fitting. So I'll make a motion to approve Scott as the coordinator.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any other discussion? Courtney, poll the board.
Selectman Becker?
Yes.
Selectman Starsky?
Yes.
Selectman Duggan?
Yes.
Chairman Ford?
Yes. Congratulations.
So our next meeting is September 21st.
See you soon.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Economic Development Committee.
So, Mr. Chairman, I thought this was, my notes said the 17th on this one. And so I don't know, Courtney, did you have today for?
I did. I had it split into 2. We were going to give some information today.
We were
and then-
going to get some information from the other towns so we could review over the next 2 weeks and then talk about it at our next meeting.
Okay, so let us get the information to you. so that you can review it even prior to your next packet or anything
Okay.
like that. And then, so that you can, we'll stay on schedule so that you can go ahead and, maybe make an appoint a committee on the 17th.
Okay.
Okay?
Town-owned facilities use policy, you wanted to push that off until our next meeting?
Right, I'm still waiting for our, insurance advisor on that.
Any other old business? New business?
Yeah, I have one piece of new business. I'd like to propose a 5-member Memorial Beach Committee. It'd be a town committee, and charge them with between now and next spring to come up with ideas for the beach on how we can better utilize it, maybe bring programs, like Diane was mentioning about the sailing and those types of options. Maybe these people can come back to us with some things that we can use to better the experience down there. So, do you want to put on for the next meeting to approve it and look for members?
Sure.
So a beach advisory committee.
Yeah, right,
Right.
yeah. Let them give a report to us in the springtime. So I'll make that a motion.
Second?
Motion's been made and seconded. Any other discussion? Courtney, call the board.
Selectman Becker?
Yes.
Selectman Starzak?
Yes.
Selectman Degevich?
Yes.
Chairman Moore?
Yes.
Do you want us to post
maybe
something
we
on the
can
website
advertise it.
seeking, okay?
Any other new business? Informational mail.
There was an email, Mr. Chairman, with regards to a junk dealer license. What's the process for that?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Through you, I met with the building commissioner and the town engineer planner, and we discussed the property itself. There are some issues that need to be resolved with the property itself prior to a junk dealer's license being issued. So I will be responding to Mr. Sandin's email, which I already have. Actually, there are some emails between us subsequent to this original email where I said we're researching it and we'll get back to you. And so I'll be doing that in the morning. But we did meet along with Courtney this morning and to discuss most of the issues with this particular case is the property itself. So we need to resolve those first.
What
And then-
problems are there? Zoning or?
Actually sprinklers. And once that is resolved, there's also some unpaid taxes. Once those issues are resolved, then there will be no prohibition to a license down there at that property as long as it's all enclosed inside the warehouse and not outside.
Any other informational mail?
Mr. Chairman, I'm just curious, we received the $825,000 Mass Community Development Block Grant. What properties, what is that specifically for? It's a little bit hard to gather in the information that we've received.
This grant included the next phase of the Riverwalk. It included, let me get you the list of what it includes, but this was the grant application that Ms. Sear submitted in the springtime. So let me get you the
Okay.
actual list. But I know it includes Frederick Street reconstruction. It includes that next phase of the Riverwalk.
Does it include the parking lot? Because there was at one time
Correct.
talk of a parking lot.
Mhm.
Okay,
It includes all of that, but I'll get you the detailed list.
thank you.
Maybe we can ask Carol to come to our next meeting just to give us an update of everything where we're at.
Sure.
Did somebody request a list of the tax title properties? Is there a reason that we have this?
I think we did last meeting.
Just for reference? I didn't know if it was
Yeah.
something to be discussed. It's-
Selectman Becker actually requested it, and that was after our discussion with Attorney Brown. And regarding, this is the updated list. We're going to research the possibility of maybe selling off some receivables. Members of the finance team have different views with regard to that, so I want to talk to the finance team and get all of the input first before we even, if they don't feel that it's worthy cause to go research, then we're not going to do that. But I know that some communities do that, but there is some hesitation on the part of some of the members of the finance team, so.
Some hefty balances or something.
Some old
There are,
balances.
and just to be clear, these are tax title properties, so these aren't properties that the town owns. These are the tax title properties. The assessor and the treasurer, then they usually pick a block of about 10, and then those 10, the treasurer then, after the time period has lapsed, they go to our tax title attorney, and we go through land court, and it's a multi-year process for then the town to gain ownership of properties. So we do have a list of foreclosed properties that we also have that we're going to be seeking to get rid of in some way, shape, or form.
Now, Pam, the date, it'll say the year. So say this one says 1973.
Yeah, half
So
of these are
it's
before I was
enjoyed
born.
From 73 up until today, taxes have not been paid.
Does that have a name attached to it?
Yes.
That particular one that you are looking at?
Yeah.
Okay. There are some cases where some of these were taken, and there may be some issues with title. There may be some issues with the actual taking as far as paperwork goes. So those we would not look to take because that would cost too much money in legal fees.
Now, does that explanation also go for the ones that say unknown owners?
The unknown owners, that's another issue that we do have. In order to assess an unknown owner, you need to get the approval of the DOR. And there needs to be a due diligence process. You'd have to prove to the DOR that you've researched every avenue that there is in order to find out who the owner is. And we can't find any of our records with regard to the assessment of unknown owners. We contacted the DOR. It has to be over 10 years ago now, and I think when actually Mr. Becker took over as the assessor, and he contacted the DOR and asked them for copies of all of their records with regard to this. They can't find their records either. They've moved, or they were destroyed, or misplaced, or damaged. So again, these are issues. Every community has these issues where things in the past, were done a certain way, and lacking any of this paperwork, we can't do anything. They're stuck. These are stuck. They will continue to accrue the interest, and until we can appropriate the money in overlay to then, get rid of these, write these off, these receivables off, they're going to stay on this list. That's the way this works. Once properties are lien, they go into tax title, we have to then appropriate money in order to get rid of them, or write them off the books. So we have, if you remember a number of years ago, we appropriated some funds to do just that, but it's when we have the money available that we will address them.
Right, a number of these unknowns are from 1974. So
Right, this is all, that doesn't happen anymore. Our tax collector is right to the day. I mean, once something can get transferred into tax title, it gets transferred immediately. And our treasurers, our recent treasurers have been really good at going after property owners and entering into payment agreements, and the town has realized a lot of money back from these properties in the last number of years. So our treasurers have done a very good job with that.
That's great.
Thank you.
Any other informational mail? Other business unknown at time of posting. Do we want to post those two positions on the website for Central Mass Region Planning Commission?
Sure, we can do that.
Any other business unknown at time of posting?
Mr. Chairman, just a quick update on the Town Administrator Search Committee. We've, to date, received 9 applications, only 9, unfortunately. We hope to get a number more in before the August 14th deadline. So once we have that deadline, the committee will then open all of the applications and begin the review process.
How many meetings have you held?
3 so far.
Good. I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to adjourn. Any other discussion? Courtney, call the board.
Selectman Becker?
Yes.
Selectman Scarse?
Yes.
Selectman Duguevich?
Yes.
Chairman Ford?
Yes, thank you.